Hi guys, this is Stefan Zammit from neuroneffects.com, and in this video we're going to have a look at how we can create this very nice energetic logo reveal right inside of After Effects using the energetic tech logo. So we're going to start off right inside of the template in here. As you can see, we have these very nice strokes in here and this light energy going on here. So let's see how we can do that right inside of After Effects. So I'm going to close that video, and I'm writing here inside the project file of the template, and the first thing that we need to do is we need to import our logo file. So I'm going to simply drag and drop a logo file in here from my Explorer window, right inside the project window in here, and from there I'm simply going to drag and drop that inside the place your logo here composition. So drag and drop that right down. Press S for scale. I usually like to have it around this size in here. Of course it depends on your logo. And then we can move to the next part, which is the main comp. So we are right inside the main comp now, and we're going to go to around this place in here. As you can see right now we're just seeing a flash of white in here. What we need to do now is we need to auto trace this logo. So we're going to go to this layer, the green layer, and there is on it layer auto trace, and afterwards don't forget to turn on the saber effect. So from here what I'm going to go to the layer and auto trace. Make sure that your settings are similar to this and simply press OK. And if you have this set to on in here, you will see the trace that have taken place in there. After that auto trace is done, don't forget to go to your effect controls panel and turn on the saber effect, just like that. Perfect. If the effect controls panel is not there, simply go to window and click on it on here to turn it on. So that's for that. We're basically almost done here. What we need to do now is simply copy the mask that we have done in here. So I'm going to go to M on my keyboard and simply copy this mask over all the other layers. So all the other orange layers in here. So before we do that, I'm going to click this stopwatch button so that we don't have any keyframes in here. This is an important step, so don't forget to do that. Simply click on that stopwatch button to remove any keyframes. And you're just simply going to copy this mask. Control C on my keyboard. Of course, if you have multiple masks, since when using certain logos you might have multiple masks, you need to copy them all. So simply click on your first mask, hold on shift and select all the masks in there. In this case I only have one, so I'm simply going to copy this one. So Control C on your keyboard and then select all the other layers and simply Control V or edit paste from here. So perfect. Let's paste, and there we go. We have all the masks in there in place. I'm going to press M on my keyboard so that I can see them. And there we have them. As you can see, every layer, every orange layer, just make sure that you only select the orange layers, of course, have that mask on it. Now, what I suggest is that you can pick some of these layers. Like this, you can simply render out like this. It's already good to go. But to give it a little bit more energy and a little bit more dynamic, what we're going to do is we're going to go to some of these, like for instance this one, go to a place where we can see that mask, so somewhere in here, let it load and make sure that this is on. Pick that mask in there, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to just delete, just simply select some of these points in here and delete them, just so that I have a different shape in here. This way some of the masks would kind of, some of the strokes, the light strokes would go out of the logo kind of, and it will give it this like dynamic look. Very nice. So simply pick the next one and I'm going to do the same. You don't have to be precise with this thing, just remove randomly from random places. This is just to give it some more, a little bit more dynamic feel. If you by accidentally remove all the masks, simply undo. So Control Z to undo, and make sure that you only select the points and not all the mask. Perfect. Maybe a few more. You can even like drag these out if you would like. So, and play with it just so you get these nice energy strokes. Perfect. Nice. And one last one in here. And as you can see, that's how the lines would look when they go out of the logo. Perfect. So that should be enough. Pick like 4 or 5 of these and simply edit the mask like that randomly, basically. So I'm going to press U on my keyboard so that everything is compressed once again, and we're basically set to go. Let's just preview a few frames in here so that we see that everything is working correctly. And that looks pretty good. As you can see, like this, where we have tweaked, you can see the stroke going around the logo kind of in here. It's very nice. It gives a very nice effect, so make sure to do that to give it some more dynamic. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the color control, and let's go to a place where maybe we can see a little bit more colors. And you can then start tweaking these colors right over here. So I'm picking a time where I can see more colors like this. This is perfect. So the first color, this should be one of the colors of the strokes. In this case it's not on screen, but you can give it any color. So I'm going to make that to green. And this one, as you can see, is of this stroke in here. You can make it whatever you like, just like that. And color 3. This one would affect the color inside of the logo. So I'm going to make it like this green. And then there's another color right over it. In this case, this is of this stroke. Perfect. And color 5 should be the color, another color that fills the logo in here. And if we like do it to this green as well, you can see how this works. Perfect. Of course you can, for this color right over here, color 3, you can give it another color, and that will make the inside of the logo look different. Very, very nice. So then you have the background color. I normally only advise to change background 1 and only just slightly. I like to keep this very, very dark. So something like this could work very well, or even darker. So perfect. We are basically set to go. Let's preview a little bit more frames in here, and we can go ahead and render. So with that done, we're going to go, of course, in here. Once again, don't forget to turn on again the saber effect. So don't forget to do that before we render. So now let's go to our render here folder, go to either render in 4K or render in Full HD, depending what you would like to use. I'm going to go to render in Full HD. In here you can drag and drop your music file, simply drag and drop it right over here like we did with the logo, and then drag and drop it right inside the composition. And once it is done, I'm going to go to composition and add to Adobe Media Encoder Queue. It will open up right over here. From here you can give it your own settings. So I'm going to choose my folder in here and place it right over here. Hit save. Make sure that export audio is set to 1 if you're using audio. And for target bitrate, I usually like to use 35. For format, I usually like to use H.264. And that's basically it. Hit OK and then choose the Start Queue button here, and it will start rendering. Of course, rendering time would depend on your system, but it should take a few minutes and then you're set to go. So I hope you enjoy using this template and that you find this video very useful. Thank you very much for watching.